Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the 5 Under 5 challenge. I love this challenge, but I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes. But first of all, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Brenda, and this is my precious Oliver, and we are so happy you stopped by. And if you're returning, you know we love you. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use this USA sign I got from Hobby Lobby. It was originally $1.99, but I got it for 40% off. Last year, I got some vinyl, some Patriotic vinyl from Hobby Lobby. Then I got this wood round from Dollar Tree recently, and I'm going to use my Waverly Chalk Paint in the color Crimson, Snow White, and this Apple Barrel Admiral Blue acrylic paint. So I'm going to start off by marking off a 4-inch area off the middle of my round, and then I am going to tape it off with my painter's tape, and I did use my ruler there to make sure that they were even and straight, and then I painted the middle with my crimson chalk paint. And I also painted the back. So after it was dry, I also painted that USA sign like you see there. So I'm going to take the vinyl. Now this comes with 6 sheets. There's 3 different designs, so 6 sheets of vinyl, and they're all 12 inches. And I'm just laying it against my wood round and tracing it and cutting it out. Now I'm using some E6000 because this is removable vinyl. I went ahead and added the E6000 on my wood round so that way it's permanent. Now, one problem I did is I had it too even, or I should say when I laid it, it was like perfectly laid, and I cut it a little off even so you can see there's a little bit of a gap there, but that's okay because I fix it. So once I had the vinyl on the top and the bottom part, I just went and trimmed off any excess, and then I took this rickrack that I received from Temu, and I am just putting it there on the seams of that vinyl, and then I'm going to trim that off, and then that way it just gives it a little more dimension, plus it hides that little error. Then I took some wood glue here, and I'm placing it around my letters here in most of the spots, and then I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue and put it where I did not have the wood glue. And this is for the immediate hold, and the wood glue is for the permanent hold. And then I'm just going to put it in place in the middle there. After that, I took this ribbon, and I'm not sure. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby, but it might have been Walmart. And same with this red one. The red one's from Walmart. I think they're both from Walmart, actually. I am making bows by doing the awareness ribbons, scrunching them up, and then tying them together with some jute twine. And then I'm going to dovetail the ends of both those ribbons there. And then after that, I am going to hot glue this piece of painter's, it was a painter stick top, to the back, and then I painted it red. And the reason being is because these wood rounds are so thin that my staples go through. Now, these wood rounds that I'm using are thinner than the Hobby Lobby ones, and so it still went through my painter's tape thing, or painter stick. So I did add another one and paint that one as well. And then I just added a little dab of hot glue in the middle. I did add a couple more staples to those bows, and then I added that star that I had painted white. It's a wood star. I've had those stars in my stash forever. And then I just took some of these beads I recently got from Amazon. They're Patriotic beads. I'll try and have them in my Amazon store if you're interested in them. And I just made a hanger with it, and that's all there was. I absolutely love the way this came out. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to like it because I thought that vinyl might be too busy, but I absolutely love it. And I paid about $4.50 to create this piece. Okay, so today is the 5 Under $5 challenge, and it happens on the 5th of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. This month's theme is red, white, and blue, and it is hosted every month by my friend Missi with Crafty Cove DIY and Emily with Farm Charm Chic. This month's guest host is Marla with The Chic Show. So make sure you check out their channel, show them some love, and check out the playlist. I'll have links to all of them in my description box below. Okay, here's DIY number 2. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly Chalk paints in the color white, crimson, and then my antique wax. I'm going to also use this Admiral Blue acrylic paint by Barrel. I'm going to use my some Tumbling Tower blocks, a Jumbo Craft stick, this God Bless America wood sign that I got at 40% off from Hobby Lobby, and then these are some bottoms of some long wood or MDF signs from Dollar Tree. I will show you on the next one where I cut them. So I laid them together. I kept a little bit of a space in between because I wanted it to kind of match with the space that's in the front of those. And I added wood glue and a hot glue to my craft stick. Now, I should have probably done it a little bit differently because when I went to go move it, the area that had the wood glue, of course, wasn't adhered yet and it kept moving on me. So I had to be really careful and move it. And then I sat something on top of it to keep it until it cured. But I filled in those holes with some spackling, and then I'm just going over this sign with my antique wax, and I'm just going to brush it all on, and then I'm going to wipe it off with some paper towel. Then after that was all done, I took my Tumbling Tower blocks and I use the antique wax on them as well. Now I ended up using 14 of those blocks, and you'll see why in a little bit. So after that, and after this sign was ready, I took my crimson color and I'm very carefully going around the edge because I didn't want to tape everything off. And I'm just painting the first one and the fourth one red here. And I have to tell you guys, when I was doing these yesterday, I was so tired, and I don't know, everything just felt like it was taking forever, and I felt like I was just like a zombie. But anyways, I got through it. So I took my Admiral Blue here and I'm painting the third and the last little strip here with that. And I had gotten too much paint on that first one there. And so here I'm just trying to use it all up and get it over to the other side. But once I had that done, I ended up not painting the other ones white. I thought, why am I going to paint it? They're pretty much white anyways, and I'm going to distress it. So I left them the same. And then I took my antique wax here and I started distressing just around the edges. And if you see, there was some red paint that still wasn't dry, and it started smearing it. And I was thinking about painting it over, but after I got my wax on it, I thought, you know, it just adds to the rustic look, and I loved it. So I just left it like it was. And I just continued going over all the rest of my sign with my wax, just kind of going around the edges and the middle parts there. Then I took my wood glue here. I'm going over the back of my sign with that wood glue. I am going to leave some areas without the wood glue so that I can add the hot glue for the immediate hold. And then once I had the wood glue all on there, I went on with my hot glue, and then I'm going to add it to the front of my sign. And then I decided that brown needed a little something more, so I took my little chip brush here and some white chalk paint, and I'm just going to go around and just kind of do some distressing on it with that white. After that, I took 7 of my Tumbling Tower blocks and I'm hot gluing them together. When I hot glue them together, I hold them in place for a few seconds just to make sure it really attaches. Then I wipe off any excess glue that comes out through those seams. I did make 2 of these strips. And then I took my wood glue here and I'm just putting it through most of my sign. And then I'm going to use hot glue again to attach the Tumbling Tower blocks to the bottom of that. I'm going to use the hot glue in the areas I did not use the wood glue. Just want to make sure you guys know that. If you mix them, it doesn't tend to work too well. So then I took my other strip and I just did the same thing as I did on the front, and I'm just going to connect those strips together. That way it will stand. After that, I took some of this red and tan twine from Dollar Tree. I made some finger bows. I'll show you here on I think the next one, how to make those in slow motion. And there it is. It cost me about $4 to make this. I absolutely love the way this came out. You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, so I want to give a big thank you to all my subscribers. You guys mean the world to me. And if you're new here and you enjoyed today's video, please hit that subscribe button before you go. It means the world to me and it costs you nothing. And then if you would like to support my channel, you can do so by giving that thumbs up, commenting, watching those ads. And you can follow me on social media. If you'd like to, you can find those links in my description box below, as well as links to all my affiliate accounts. Okay, here is DIY number 3. So on this DIY, I'm going to use this stencil that I got from Temu. They sent that to me. I'm going to use this flower I got in the spring section it was 50% off of that when I got it. And when I saw that flower, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. So I'm going to use my Waverly Chalk Paint in the color white, crimson, and then again the Admiral Blue by Barrel Acrylic Paint. Oh my goodness, I said that already. Anyways, I started by painting off the outer petals with red, and I realized my brush was too big because I was getting it on the top petals. So I took a smaller brush here, and I'm just going in the crevice with it, and then just kind of along the sides. And then once I had those all done, I went in with my, look, even doing it that way, I still got it on. This is why I don't like showing you guys my painting, because I am such a messy painter. I always get it all over my hands, no matter how hard I try not to. Yes, I'm a messy painter. Anyways, I just went around and finished the red on those bottom petals. Then I took my white. As you can see, I got white on the red. I painted the top petals white, and then I went and touched everything up. Then I took my Admiral Blue here, and I'm just painting the middle part of the flower. And yes, I got a little bit of blue on the white and had to touch that up too. I am a hopeless case when it comes to painting, that is. So after I had that done and it was all dry, I took this stencil, and I took a stencil brush and some white chalk paint, and I'm just pouncing my brush right into those stars to add some stars right in the middle. And I really love how this flower came out. I just think it is so pretty. I've seen stuff kind of like this on Pinterest. So that's when I saw the flower at Hobby Lobby. I knew I wanted to give this a try. So after that, I took those boards out, and just like that, I cut them and I cut the bottom pieces off, and that's what I used on the previous DIY. So I laid those two bigger pieces together, and I'm just connecting them with my craft sticks using wood glue and hot glue. Then I went around with my antique wax, and I'm doing just like I did on the last one. I'm just doing a distressing all around those little grooves, and then all the way around the edge of my sign as well. Now, if you don't like distressing, of course, you could always skip this part if you recreate it. I love distressing, especially when it comes to Patriotic. I love that Rustic Americana. I think they actually call it primitive Patriotic style. And so I love adding it to my DIYs. So then I went around the rest of the flower with my antique wax, just like you see. And then again, I'm using my wood glue and my hot glue all around the back of my flower, and then I'm going to attach that to my sign. And then after that, I really was going back and forth on whether or not I should add a saying, but instead I took some of these wood stars. I've had these in my stash for I don't know how long. I'm painting them blue. And then after they were all dry, I took that stencil again, and I added a white star right in the middle of the blue. Then I went ahead and I hot glued 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom of this sign. Now, I probably should have quit being so lazy, but I was so tired. I did not feel like digging in my totes for more of those stars, but I think it would have looked great to have a few more on the bottom and top. So here I'm making the finger bow. I'm making, I think, a triple or quadruple finger bow. I'm just wrapping my fingers, I think it was 4 or 5 times. And then I'm going to cut off extra, wrap that extra around those loops that are on my finger, come back up from underneath, stick it through that loop that I made, and then I'm going to pull very tightly against that knot, and there it is. And then I'm just going to hot glue it to the top of that flower where the hole was, because I forgot to fill it with spackling. And then I took some more of that twine and I wrapped some tape around the ends, and I'm just going to use it as a hanger. I'm going to make a double knot in the back so that way it doesn't come through the hole, and then trim off the end, and we have a beautiful patriotic flower sign. You'll have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. And this cost me about $4 to create. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreation. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to show you today. So if you have a creation or a recreation that you would like me to showcase for you, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, here is DIY number 4. This is a super easy one, you guys. Like I said, I was really tired, so I made some very easy ones for this playlist. So I'm using my Waverly Chalk Paints in the white and crimson, this wood panel from Dollar Tree, and then I got these rub-on transfers from Essential Stencils. I love them. I think they're so pretty. So I started off by painting the inside part of this little sign with white, and then I went around the back and all the edge with my crimson. After that, I cut out the floral piece that I wanted to add, and I'm just going to add it right in the middle of my sign here. And then I'm just going to take my little stick and I'm just going to start rubbing, and I keep rubbing, and as I pull up my plastic, if I see any pulling up, if I see it pulling up any of the image, I just lay it back down, rub it a little bit, and pull up. And that's what I keep doing here. And you can kind of feel when you're pulling it, there's a little bit of pressure when it's not fully done, and then it peels off a lot easier when it is. So that kind of helps me gauge whether or not I need to keep rubbing. So after I had that done, I received from Temu a beaded garland. This was on there, so I decided to hot glue it to the top. I'm just going to make a little shoelace bow here, and then I'm going to hot glue that to the little hole that's on that little flag. And that's all there was for this one. I told you it's a super easy one. If you saw my video from Saturday night, it was a little bit harder and it took a lot more time, so I was ready to do just some easy ones for you today. So the cost of this was about $1.75. So easy, but it would be great on a tiered tray or a little shelf sitter. I don't know. I love it. You have to let me know what you think about it. Okay, DIY number 5, another super easy one for you guys today. So for this one, again, I'm going to use my Crimson Chalk Paint by Waverly. I'm going to use one of these stars that I got from Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to use some of this rickrack that Temu sent me. Again, this is the vinyl that came from Hobby Lobby that I got last year and never used. And then this wood shelf from Dollar Tree. And then the stickers that have been in my stash forever, but I think they came from Dollar Tree. I'm going to start off by tracing out that wood shelf on the back of this vinyl paper, and then I'm going to cut it out. And once I had this all cut out, I decided, I should probably paint it before I add that vinyl, because you know what would happen if I didn't? I would get the paint on the vinyl. So I painted the back and the sides of my shelf with that crimson color. Then I'm taking this Elmer's spray glue here, and I sprayed the top of it, and then I'm just going to add that vinyl. Again, that's because this is removable vinyl, and I didn't want this removable. I wanted this to be permanent. So once I had that on there, I went and took one of these stars off. It just had some staples in. I removed the staples, painted it with my crimson, and I'm going to hot glue it right to the front of my paper there. After that, I took my rickrack and I'm just going to hot glue it all the way around, just making kind of like a frame with it around my little picture here. I am sorry, I'm sitting there picking off all the little bits of glue. I tried this once, and I tried it with my little spatula, but I found that it was causing too many little glue dots and bumps. So I actually found that using my finger helped eliminate doing that. So I just started using my finger there. Once I was all done, I'm just going to trim this off. And then, what do I do next? I took some of these letters, U, S, and A. I painted them with that blue color, and once they were dry, I'm just going to peel them off, and I'm using my little ruler there to help me keep them straight, and they still weren't straight, so I had to get my little Cricut weeding tool and pull them out so I could straighten them up. And then it came in handy because like that little piece there on the A, I couldn't get it off, but I got it off with that Cricut weeding tool. So then I'm just going to lay the A there, and that's all there was for that part of it. Then I took some tumbling tower blocks, 3 of them, I think, and I painted them red. Maybe it was 4. I think it's 3. Using my wood glue and hot glue here, and I'm going to attach that to the back of my sign, making sure I didn't have my sign upside down. And then I made another finger bow with some jute twine and added it to the bottom, and this only cost me about $1.50. Again, super easy, but again, it's something that would be great on a tier tray or just in a vignette, is that what you call it? I don't know. Anyways, it's a great little piece. Okay, so here is your final reveal. Again, guys, make sure you check out the host channels and all the videos in the playlist. Again, I'll have links to all of them in the description box below. And again, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you go. Make sure you guys give me that thumbs up and comment. I will be back again on Thursday with another video. So with all that being said, you guys have a blessed week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.